Okay, so guys, one thing you need to be aware of in Legend of Ymir is the server transfer system. That means in the future, you could transfer your character, let's say from NAEU3 to your friend's server, maybe NAEU1, or even an Asian server. Now, I'm not sure if this will be in the global version, but in the Korean server, it definitely exists, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But anyway, guys, before we continue, quick words from our sponsor. If you're looking for cheap and best Legend of Ymir diamonds, you can buy from MMOXP and just use my code Shendong to get your 6% discount, and link is in our description. Alright, so back to the topic, why is this important? Well, understanding server transfer can help you plan your strategy early. For example, if you're aiming for a specific server, you could compare its market with your current server and start investing now. That way, when you transfer, you're already set up and ready to take advantage. So that's just one example, but you get the idea. Now let's talk about when server transfer might come to the global server. And the best way to predict this is by looking at the timeline of the Korean server, and that's what exactly I did. But keep in mind, guys, that the timing is slightly different between Korea and global. So for example, in Korea, the game launched February 20, 2025, and season 1 started April 4, 2025. So that was like 43 days after launch. And then guys, in global, the game launched October 28, 2025, and season 1 started November 25, 2025, and that's only 28 days after launch. So imagine that, 43 days versus 28 days. So probably global version might release seasons slightly faster than Korea before. So for season 2, guys, in Korea, it started on July 3, 2025, which is 90 days after season 1. For global, this could be earlier, maybe around the last week of January next year or possibly February. Then guys, in Korea, about 2 months after season 2 launch, there was a server transfer update. This was the first transfer event, and it was a time limited event from September 4 to September 10, 2025. And for the global release, again, this is just a guess, but following the same pattern, we might see a server transfer in March or maybe April. And back to Korea, after that, guys, season 3 started on October 2, 2025, and another transfer event happened around that period, specifically October 16 to 22. So for global, this might happen in April, I guess. But anyway, guys, the most important part is the first server transfer. In Korea, it happens between season 2 and season 3. So for global, this will likely also be between season 2 and season 3, which would be around March or April. But anyway, guys, the next topic we're going to dive into is the details of this server transfer. And actually, guys, the Korean patch notes have a lot of information explaining exactly how it works. So if you want the full details, I highly recommend checking the description below and just use a translation tool to read the original Korean patch notes. And guys, all the infos about server transfers are there. But for this video, let me break down the most important key points you need to know. So first, you can transfer your character to a server a maximum of 2 times. That means you need to be careful, guys. Like, make sure that the server you're moving to is really where you want to settle, because you only get 2 chances. Second, let's talk about the cost. On the Korean server, a character transfer costs 1,200 diamonds, while a clan transfer costs 2,000 diamonds. So plan your resources accordingly if you want to make use of this feature. And third, guys, your character need to be at least level 55 to be eligible for server transfer, and that ensures that only players who have already invested a significant amount of time and effort can use this system. And fourth, guys, in terms of progress, this is good news, guys. You will be able to transfer almost 99% of your character's progress. This includes your skill levels, your inventory, your gears, and even your storage, guys. So there are just a few exceptions like transaction history, friendlies, and friend requests, basically things that are not part of your core character progression. But again, for the most important stuff like your gear, your skill, your inventory, all of that, guys, you will be able to transfer that. And fifth, guys, there is this rule that you cannot transfer to a newly created server. Well, this makes sense because it would be unfair to new players if old and high level characters move straight to fresh servers, right? Okay, so six, guys, remember that the server transfer is actually a time limited event and not a permanent feature. So when it becomes available, it's important that you already have a plan if you really want to move or you want to stay in your current server. So guys, those are the key points you need to know about server transfer. It's a unique system, and if you plan ahead, it can be a huge strategic advantage for you in the game. And guys, that's actually everything for today, and my next content will dive deeper into the different seasons of the game so that we also be prepared and excited for each season. And I'm especially looking forward to season 2, which is shaping up to be the season of PvP, guys. So that is really perfect for all of you guys who are competitive in this game. And for chill farmers, this is also a good season because I think the more players become competitive in the game, the more the market becomes active. Alright, so guys, again, thank you so much for supporting this channel, and I'll see you in more Legend of Ymir content soon.